Hello again. This is Victor James, author of the Megacosm, and I want to make a quick video about the Eagles versus Cowboys game that just ended. So the Cowboys lost 20-24, but I have to admit I was pleasantly surprised. You could tell losing Micah that hurt the defense. I mean, they're just, especially before the rain delay, they couldn't stop the Eagles to save their lives. There was no pressure on Jalen Hurts. He was getting anything he wanted. But after that rain delay, they actually showed some backbone. They actually had some stops, and they got the Eagles in some third and longs, which I was surprised to see. And their offense was as good as I thought it was going to be. I mean, this is why I was so upset, and why I'm so upset that they got rid of Micah Parsons, because I think their offense is going to be very high scoring. Like I told my uncle, they're going to lose a lot of high scoring games, and this is one of them. I mean, it's not super high scoring, but it probably was going to be a very high scoring game until the rain delay just killed all momentum for both teams. But the Cowboys were able to throw their punches. They got George Pickens involved. I was hoping they'd get him more involved. I think they went to CeeDee Lamb a little bit more, and he had some pretty big drops. Except for that last one, I mean, I don't really count that as a drop. A diving ball, 20-yard pass, diving between two defenders. Most people are going to drop that. And I know it's probably killing him that he did. I mean, the ball he dropped before that, it went right through his hands. And that was twice. So CeeDee Lamb has some two big drops in this game, which is very not CeeDee Lamb-like, So I don't expect that to go forward. But the Cowboys were in this game. They actually really could have won. I mean, if Miles Sanders didn't have that fumble, this is a whole different game we're talking about here, because they had the Eagles on their heels, which was surprising. I was very surprised. But what I wasn't surprised about is that defense. Hopefully the defense we saw after the rain delay is the defense the Cowboys has, going forward. And I hope they have, a little bit more, confidence from this game that they took the Eagles, to this point. But I would like to see, Jalen Carter play, because that's the Eagles' best interior defender. And I would like to see how Dak and all those guys would have fared with him in the game. Because they seem to have been able to do what they want in that first, three quarters. So, get all the healthy players back, and we'll see about that offense. But as far as the offense goes, I'm actually surprised about that too. It was good to see them actually using motion, because Mike McCarthy, for some reason, he was just allergic to actually throwing guys in motion and throwing, and making the team think something different. Yes, I know they won 12 games, but his offense was very vanilla, and he carried it into the playoffs. So I'm hoping, So Schottenheimer actually is, impressed me with the fact that he actually threw in some different looks and wrinkles. And Dak Prescott, he looked pretty healthy out there. I mean, I didn't see any lingering doubts to his injury. He actually scrambled a few times, which I haven't seen in a while, and he did some sliding in the pocket. He looked very confident. I mean, this is probably the best I've seen Dak play in a while. But there were some Dak throws where he could have easily had 2 or 3 interceptions in this game. Some of the I have no idea how Eagles dropped some of these passes. So there are also those moments where you're still going to get Dak, but he did look good out there. So like I said, he's their best quarterback they have. I still think he's overpaid for being Dak, but he's still the best quarterback they have on the roster. So this is their best chance of winning is with him, and he looked confident, mobile out there. So in the running game, it was okay. In my opinion, Williams looks like he's strong again. I didn't see any big plays, and I didn't see any wiggle, but they only ran those 2 running backs. I was kind of hoping to see Jadon Blue. I don't know if was he hurt for this game. I'm not sure why they did, the rotation was so short when you drafted 2 rookie running backs. At least give them a couple of runs to see what they can do. But I was hoping to see some of those guys. But the line held up well. Jerry Jones actually put some picks in the line, and they held up well today. I thought I only saw Dak under pressure a few times. And like I said, they were able to run the ball to keep the Eagles honest. And, the Eagles are going to have to figure it out, because their defense looked pretty bad in the beginning. And, the fact they had a lot of rookies playing, you could tell they had a lot of rookies playing, and they lost a lot on defense. But I think with their coaching and Howie Roseman being, a genius, he's going to figure out how to fix this defense and get players in that are complimentary. So the Eagles are going to be a tough out going forward, because their offense looks just as good. Saquon Barkley looked like he has not lost a step. He couldn't run up the middle, which is what the Cowboys traded Micah Parsons for. So that worked out for one game. They stuffed the middle of the run, and they didn't give up big plays in the run game, which is what they traded Parsons for. So I guess so far so good for Jerry Jones, in the first game. But it's early in the season, so we'll see. Like I said, I like to see the Cowboys go up against a full Eagles defense because Jalen Carter is not just some scrub that makes no difference. I mean, they built their defense around him, so losing him was pretty much like losing Micah. So that's why you saw a lot of points being scored at the first three quarters. But that's my take. The Cowboys surprised me. Pleasantly surprised. I'm glad they were able to hang in this game, and they probably should have won. But shoulda, coulda, wouldas. The I forgot the saying, so I'm not gonna say it. But anyway, that's my take. The Cowboys lose 2024, first week of the season. I don't plan on doing these instant reactions too often. Probably when I'm angry. So if you see any instant reaction videos, it's probably gonna be because I'm angry at something. But I just wanted to get this first one out of the way, and I'll probably do a week one recap on Tuesday just to see what I see. And I used to play fantasy football a lot, so maybe talk about some fantasy players that I think people should be looking at, but we'll see if I pay that much attention like I was back in those days. I have a really weird relationship with fantasy football. I get too addicted to it, so I can't play it anymore. But we'll see. So anyway, that's all I want to say about this game. God bless you and keep you. That's it. I'm done.